All right, everybody, welcome. Season 2, Episode 3. We have a guest today, Scotty Nash from Scotty's Vodka. I'm wearing his
Hello.
gear, repping him. Nick, of course, is here, my sidekick. Just when you think you knew something, you know nothing, Nick. I thought we
Right,
had it going on.
right.
Um, so this week things have tightened up a little bit. So the Heisman Trophy update, Ashton Genty looks to be the real deal. Did you watch him against Oregon at all?
I did. He's a big boy. He's much bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah,
Cam Ward from Miami had another big game, of course, against FAMU, which isn't much competition. Quinn Ewers against Michigan obviously looked great against that great Michigan defense. And then Carson Beck for Georgia, just against Tennessee Tech. Not much of a team, but their schedule's about to get real tough right now. So he looked good as well. You want to go over the playoffs, Nick? If it happened today,
sure,
who's playing who, and give the
sure,
rankings, their current rankings, and who they would be playing in the next game, please.
sure. So we have the top four would get a bye. So it would be Georgia one, Miami of Florida two, Ohio, Miami of Florida three, Ohio State two.
Right.
No, I screwed this up. I'm sorry. Let me back it up. Georgia one, Miami of Florida four, Ohio State two, Utah three.
Exactly. I wrote it down wrong. Sorry about that.
No, that's my okay. And then the opening round games are good. You got Penn State against Old Miss in a rematch of last year's bowl game. The Texas Longhorns versus Boise State in the 5-12 slot, and Alabama against USC Trojans. That's the 7-10.
It's a nice
And
game.
then
That's a really
Oregon
nice game.
Ducks, I'm sorry, versus the Tennessee Volunteers. So there's a lot of good games in there, a lot of good scuffles.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are that. I mean, that's today. But that's not obviously what's going to be at the end of the year. So
Right.
let's go over week 2 wrap up. I'm going to call it the Pretenders week because four home favorites by more than double digits, except for Maryland was 9.5. Maryland, Auburn, Kentucky, and Notre Dame both lost at home as double-digit favorites.
Right.
Scott, do you have anything to say about that? I know you said Maryland was your lock of the week.
Yeah, yeah, that was rough. That was rough. It was like, you're in it, you're in it, you're in it, then you're not in it anymore. And it's kind of like, well, what just happened? I turn around for 1 second, and I have to watch the replay of that bomb. Like I'm just ready to settle in with a cold one, and then I'm like, well, what just happened here?
Right.
It's like, and then the whole thing turned around sideways and missed field goal and just terrible.
Bad loss. I mean,
Yeah,
not as bad as Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois.
yeah. Well, that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I mean, at least I don't think we were embarrassed. That was embarrassing.
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that hurt them, right, Nick? The Irish are
Oh yeah.
Uh,
pretenders. They're pretenders,
Yeah.
obviously.
yeah.
Too
The
bad.
power rating for them just went through the floor.
Yeah, yeah. And Auburn, of course, they're pretenders every year, so I'm not surprised by that. And
Yeah.
then South Carolina putting the beat down on Kentucky in Kentucky. That was a little surprising to me. All right, so Kurt Signetti, Google me. I win a lot at JMU. I don't know, Nick. What do you think, man? I mean, is this legit or is this just him playing weak sisters?
Well, you're right. They haven't played anybody great. I mean, they've played, I think, one of the Florida teams, Florida International or Florida Atlantic, maybe Florida Atlantic, and Western Illinois, and they beat them 77-3. But they're going out to the Rose Bowl on Saturday against UCLA, who looked very bad 2 weeks ago against Hawaii. And I kind of like Illinois here. I mean, you got to, he's
Oh,
Kirk. This is Kirk Cignetti's first big time, I guess, really Big Ten job, and
Yeah,
he's been around for a long time. He's a
yeah,
good coach, and he's given everything he has.
I agree. I agree, but I think he puts a beat down on UCLA too.
All right,
UCLA is not very good, man. I mean, when it gets
right,
into the meat of the schedule, the Ohio States he has to play, he
right,
has to go to Wisconsin. Then he's going to
right.
have some problems. But he kills Indiana. He kills UCLA. Sorry to say to them.
Right.
Southern Miss is now in the ACC, and I mean they haven't been good since the Pony Express. All right, I mean I
Right.
don't know what to make of them. I love the Pitt win at the Natty. Right, they were down
Right.
big and came back and won the game. Pitt, Narduzzi's a great coach. We've talked about him. And then, of course, we loved, everyone loved Texas, at least me and you did, over Michigan. And Michigan looked exactly who they were. Did you watch any of that, Scott?
I
Yeah,
watched.
that was that was an eye opener. I mean, once you saw the number move, like I think it opened at what 3.5, something in that realm, and then goes all the way to 7.5.
Yeah.
You're like, what what does someone know I did not know? But obviously somebody knew something. And then you're like, then you're thinking to yourself like, well, is that too many points? And then I'm like, no, it's not too many points. Like, this isn't the same team as last year.
Right.
That's but that's what you get a lot of on, I mean, college football these days is so fluid, with players, transfer portal, everything else, that the setups for every year, you can't rely on past performances, like you can somewhat with the NFL. You got a lot of the same groups there.
Right. Right.
Okay, this is going to be pretty close to what I got last year. Well, in college, it's like that's all off the table. You're just starting from scratch every year when you're starting to evaluate these teams.
Yeah.
And it's not but you still get the public money going. Do you remember Michigan from last year? This has got to be the same thing again. And and the money piles in.
Good point.
Then they get whacked.
Yeah, but Texas has a lot of the same guys. The teams with money though can keep their good players.
Yeah,
they don't have as much a fluid situation as like
Yeah.
a Maryland or Michigan State, who had 35 transfers, or Cignetti had 41 transfers. I mean, ridiculous amounts of new people.
Yeah.
They,
I mean,
they
hard to build a program like that.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard to be a fan. That's why I've always said I'm a fan of Maryland. The players are going to move and come and go, but the school's still going to be there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go over the picks last week. Nick, you had a great week, 13-6.
Oh yeah.
I was 9-12 after going 11-4 the first week, and now we're almost dead even. After your 7-8 last week, you're 20-14. I'm 20-16. So here we go. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to pick these games. I don't know what to say. It's hard to pick them.
It is. It's just early in the year. You just don't know what you're going to get.
So we both like Texas, obviously. We both like Iowa. They lost. We both like Maryland. They lost. I like Nebraska. You like the under. You got that one. Both like Oregon, and they barely won, man. I mean, and Boise State, had some opportunities there to win that game. I loved Appy State getting 17, but this is to Scott's point. It's a different Appy State team. I thought it was the same team as last year that was really competitive with the big boys. And Clemson took them out to the woodshed, hung 66 on them. That was a good pick, Nick, on your part. We both love Tennessee to wax NC State. They did, 51-10. I like Tulane to play K-State tough at home, and they did. They lost by 7. Mississippi State, Arizona. We both like the under. We hit that. We both loved Illinois at home. I liked it as a money line pick, and they won straight up.
That was a good pick. That was a great pick by you.
Kansas. I thought their defense, and I also bet the under. I double betted that, hit on both of those. Texas Tech's Washington State. You like the under, which it went under, and I like Washington State with Texas Tech flying out to the Palouse, and they got whacked, man,
Right.
37-16. I
Good
mean,
work.
Washington State's legit. You loved no, we both loved Kentucky at home, thinking South Carolina's done, and they won big, right?
Right.
Like 28-10 or something. I couldn't believe 31-6. I'm sorry, 31-6.
Yeah.
Great win by South Carolina and Shane Beamer. Love Bama. You love the under. You hit the under. I lost on Bama. They could have. I think they could have rolled up on them some more, but they didn't. 42-16. You like the under, which you hit on, and I liked Auburn. I figured Auburn, California, they're going to kill them. Auburn's a joke, man. Don't ever bet Auburn ever in your life, Scott. Don't ever get a chance.
Auburn's on the list.
They're dogs. I mean, they are certified dogs. Put a line through them, redact them from any betting slip. Put a redaction on them.
Well, Maryland took them out the woodshed in like bowl.
31
in the bowl game.
Yeah. And supposedly the guys that I know that went down there said that their cockiness going into the game was over the top, and there was all Auburn people, and they were all over them. The few Maryland people that showed up, and they were just going nuts the whole game. It said it was dead silent in there, except like a small crowd of Maryland people going crazy.
Kentucky basketball fans are the same fucking way.
Yeah.
And then Northern Illinois, obviously, Nick, you like them. You said those points, a lot of points. I don't think Notre Dame beats them with those points. I think we all both thought Notre Dame would win. You didn't think they'd cover. I thought they're going to kill Northern Illinois. No, they lost straight up. What a money line bet that would have been.
Yeah.
You love DCU. You used to watch a lot of their games. They won on the road. Good win for them. I told you Temple's dead in the water. They may be the worst Division I program in football.
I think so. They're bad. They're pretty terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Navy took them out 38-11. And then Oregon State goes into San Diego State, which I like them. You like San Diego State 21-0. Good
work, man.
Good win.
Good work on that late game from the West Coast.
Yeah. And then the lock of the week was Texas over Michigan. So you're 1-1 for the year, man. Here we go.
Yeah, but you did that. You that was your good work there.
Yeah.
You told me Texas is going to roll them.
Yeah, Michigan did not pass the smell test. I knew they'd be toast.
Right.
All right, Scotty, you ready to go, buddy?
I'm ready when you are.
Week 3, boys. Coastal Carolina. And these are the current spreads as of now. They could change, but we're just going to work with what we have right now.
Yeah.
Scotty, Coastal Carolina laying 17.5 versus Temple.
I like Coastal Carolina only because Temple has been
because they suck.
Well, they've been turning the ball over like no one's business, and you can't be putting money on teams that turn the ball over 9 times. True. So I'll go with Coastal Carolina.
Nikki,
I'm going to take the under there.
The under 51.5. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take Coastal also. I think they kill them. It's in Philly, but they get about 3,000. My son's a senior there, Scotty, so I know a lot about the program. They get about 3,000 fans a game, so not a great showing by them.
And you better hope the weather's good.
Yeah, exactly.
You might have got a quarter of that if it's bad.
Tulane versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma favored by 13.5 in Norman. Nick, what do you say?
I'll take Oklahoma and give the 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. Scotty?
I actually like the under in that game.
The under, okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And I'm gonna take Tulane there. I think they're pretty good, man. I think they'll play Oklahoma tough and lose by 7, maybe by 10, but I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think the defense on Tulane is much better than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
I think that game's going to bog down.
Yeah, I like the under. That's a good pick. Appy State -2.5 versus ECU. What do you say, Scotty?
I'm not going back to the Appy State well again. I'm gonna, I'm going ECU plus money.
ECU at home too.
ECU. Yeah.
At home, I like that. Nick,
Yeah.
I'll I'll go with Appy State giving the 2.5.
really?
Yeah,
Do you think they got something to take?
yeah. I've seen that. I think they'll be okay.
I'm gonna take ECU at home.
All right.
I love a home underdog. I think that's always a good play.
That's the best way to play.
All right, Boston. I love this game, by the way. I mean, not the bet because I think there's a lot of potholes in this game, but it's going to be a good game. Boston College versus Mizzou in Columbia. Missouri's favored by 16.5. Nick, what do you say, Nicky?
Boy,
54.5.
Boston College has done a lot of traveling. Um,
Oh, true. Yeah.
this is already their fourth game. Um,
Did they play in week
yeah,
0?
that's a lot of points though. Um, I'll take Mizzou to cover that.
Okay. Scotty?
Yeah, it's definitely there. I mean, I have their power rating. I mean, I have that spread on my thing as a -19. But I like the under better in that game. I
Under.
That's
think
a good. That's a
I
good place.
think it's going to be tight.
I like the under there too, Scott. And I'm going to double bet that and go BC getting all those points, man.
Yeah, a lot of points.
A lot of points.
Especially when you're looking at the under, it's like and that many points. It's like, hey, if they're only scoring 40 and I got 16.5 coming at me, yeah, that's
Right.
not
Right.
yeah.
WVU favored by 2.5 in Pittsburgh. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like after last week's West Virginia loss, I mean, I think that was kind of a embarrassing loss for them. Um, it's the backyard brawl.
Yep.
And then Pitt had that great comeback. I mean, I think they have it in them. I think they can do it. I even though I think West Virginia is a better team, I think Pittsburgh at home in the situation is a better bet. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
The home underdog. I like
Yeah.
it. Nikki?
This is a tough game. The backyard brawl. Um, as Scotty said, Pitts played really well. They beat Kent State and
And the Natty.
Cincinnati. They came way back
Yeah.
against.
21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with WVU, given
Yeah.
that it's 1.5 now.
It's 2.5 on our board. So you
Okay, 2.5. Okay, then I'll give the 2.5.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think Pittsburgh's better than they've shown so far against the Natty. I think West Virginia's not that good. But this game would be the road trip game of the week. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to a game at Pittsburgh or at Pitt or against a Steelers game. It's a great town. It's more of a city than it is a college town. But my daughter graduated from Pitt, so I know the town pretty well. I've been there probably 30 times. Love the school. Love everything about it. It's a 4-hour drive from the DC area. It's never more than 4 hours, no matter what happens. It's always 4 hours, which is nice. It's predictable. But a lot of great restaurants, a lot of good small, like family owned restaurants, a lot of great bars, divey bars, good neighborhoods, good atmosphere. I know the Steelers games are unbelievable. The Pitt games aren't quite the Steelers games, but this weekend would be a lot of fun with the backyard brawl, right? I mean, the West Virginia fans are 45 minutes to an hour away, so they're going to pack that place. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, definitely correct.
You guys have any comments on going to Pittsburgh? Have you been to a game in Pittsburgh? Either one?
Yeah, I've been to Steelers games before. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. It is a great town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun place to watch a game.
Yeah. Good fans too. Good,
Yeah.
knowledgeable, strong fans. Nikki?
I'm going next month to the Cal game at Pitt.
Cal Pitt?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
It's
yeah.
much more friendly than the eastern side of the state when you go to Philly games, which tend to be off the charts.
Filthy Delphia.
That's a whole different world over there,
Yes,
and
it
don't
is.
show up
Yes.
in any other gear besides their team's gear. Your life may be threatened.
I wore a Tony Dorsett jersey at a playoff game between the Eagles and the Cowboys. I barely got out of my life.
Oh, I can't believe you didn't take a battery to like head or
It was bad. All right. Maryland, who obviously disappointed all three of us. 2.5 point favorite at UVA, 54.5. What do you say, Scotty?
I think this game is going to turn into a shootout, and I like the over.
Over. Okay. Nikki?
I, you can't pass, right? It's against our religion to pass.
We don't pass. We run the ball.
I'm going to take the Terps.
Nice. Okay. Good. And I am, unlike Scotty, I think it's going to be a slog. I think I like the under there.
We'll see.
And I like Maryland as well. So Maryland in the under. I'm gonna double bet it. I think Maryland's going to come back and play better this week, but because UVA is not very good either. But
No.
2.5 points is nothing. It's a field goal, so that's not. It's almost a pick'em game, to be honest with you. And I think it'll be a close game. I think UVA will play us close defensively, and we'll shut them down because we're okay defensively, man. We just got to stop the long ball. All right, Arizona, their first, I guess, dabble into the Big 12, right, Nick? Against K-State.
Yep. Yeah.
K-State favored by 7 points, 57.5 over under. What do you say, Nikki?
I think I'm going to go with the under there. I think that's going to be kind of a slog.
You do? Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I definitely like that. But
you can double bet too, Scott.
I like Arizona. I think it's too many points. I think it's going to be close and lower scoring.
So you like the under?
Under. No. Arizona.
Oh, okay. All right. Zona. Nice. Zona and the under? You're going to double bet it?
Just Arizona.
You can double. This is no real money, Scotty. We're just doing this for fun. It's okay to get out there, buddy.
Do ties lose or how does that work?
Shit. All right. Game of the week, boys. Alabama roll tide, 16-point favorites. Nick, is this in Whiskey or in Green Bay?
I think it's in Madison. I think it's in Whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah. Johnson.
All right. Nick, what do you say?
I tried to tell if Michigan had played Wisconsin recently to try and get a gauge. Wisconsin played LSU last year tight. I think I'm going to go with Alabama, given the 16.
Okay. What do you think, Scotty?
Same thing. They had, I think, 2 or 3 turnovers in the last game, and really, it was just a really poor offensive performance. I think they turned it around this week. And also you got to think with Alabama and how the playoff system is set up now. When these teams get chances to run scores up, they do, because they know if you catch a loss anywhere down the line, that's going to matter at the end of the day. So especially Alabama, do that to you in a heartbeat. So I don't think that number is going to be hard to cover.
You guys have the over under there because I forgot to put it in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hang on a sec.
half.
For some reason I didn't write it in, but if you guys can give that to me, that'd be great.
50.5.
Or,
That's what I got.
All right. So I am going to take Bama as well. And I am going to take the under. I think
That,
Bama beats them 30-3,
yeah,
30-10, something into that effect. I think Wisconsin will play defense against. They're going to get scored on, but
yeah.
I think they'll hold it close. But I don't think Whiskey's going to score much against Bama. I mean, Bama's defense is a bunch of cage dogs, as Lawrence Taylor would say. I mean, there's no way they're going to do anything against that D. So I don't like. I
That's
can score a field goal, maybe a touchdown, but that's about it. All right, Scott. Washington,
uh,
the Apple Cup. Washington State versus Washington. Washington's favored by 4 at home. 55.5 is the over under.
yeah. I like Washington in that one. I think that one's. I think the line. I don't. I think the line's off on that one, and I really think that Washington is. I think that that line should be 8. But so I'm going.
Nick.
I'll agree. I agree with Scott. I'll take the Huskies giving the points in Seattle.
All right, and I'm going to go with Wazoo there.
All
I
right.
think Washington State's pissed that the Pac-12 is disintegrated, and I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to go into Seattle and beat them. I
Good
think
call. I mean,
I think
it's
I could
good
even
thinking.
do money line on that pick on that game. 4 points is not a lot. I think
Yeah.
they beat them straight up. I don't think Washington State. I don't think Washington's that good this year, and Washington State has a reason to beat them. And I don't think Washington cares about Washington State anymore. So, all right, Oregon -16 at Oregon State, another rivalry game, an old Pac-12 game, an old inter-rival state game. 16-point favorites, 50.5 is the over-under. And Oregon has not shown shit on defense this year. So, and
Nope.
Oregon State has. So what do you say, Nick?
I'm like that's like you put it well. I'll take the Beavers plus 16.
Yeah, it's a lot of points. What do you say, Scott?
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I don't. I Oregon's looked horrible. Yeah, I mean they they're not the Oregon of last year. Let's put it that way.
Right. And
Yeah,
and they reloaded. I mean, they didn't really lose anyone. They got a new, better players. So maybe the chemistry hasn't hit yet with Oregon because I think they got a boatload of talent.
yeah. Even with the open, who was the opener against? That was it,
Idaho,
you,
Idaho.
yeah. You saw the score and you were like, what? Like
Right.
it doesn't even look right. And then with Boise was like, Boise is great. It's like they have what's that back they have is really really good.
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, man, that guy's phenomenal. I
Yeah,
mean, he made them look like nothing. And what do
right.
you get for like 64 yards? I mean,
194 against them.
yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
Three
I mean,
touchdowns. Yeah, he
anyway,
looked, he looked good. He's tough though. I mean, he's an NFL back.
oh, there's no doubt. And I mean, he could be a Heisman hopeful, but they just don't give it to backs anymore.
That's
You know,
what me and Nick have talked about. But I do think he has a chance if he's going to get 2,000 yards if he keeps at this pace. Obviously, he'll probably get 2,200, and he may get a chance at sniffing it. I mean, he's definitely going to be in New York, whether he gets it or not. But he's the best back in the country that I've seen.
oh yeah, for a few years. I mean, this guy's just tearing defenses up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
all right.
he's
Notre Dame 11.5 favorite going into Purdue, another home underdog. What do you say, Scott?
Oh, I'm going to go Notre Dame as a bounce back.
ND with a bounce back at Purdue. Okay.
Yep.
Nick?
Um, I agree with him. I'm going to go with on the bounce back thing too.
I am not. I am going to go with Purdue because I think Notre Dame got exposed, and I don't think their offense is as good as we thought they were going to be. At
Yeah.
least I was going to be 11.5 for a home underdog. I love the home underdogs. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love
No,
home
it's a
underdog.
great way to think about it.
And
Well,
Purdue's not horrible, and they're going to play. They're not going to beat Notre Dame, I don't think, but you never know. But I think it'll be a 7 to a 4 point game. I think it'll be close.
yep.
Indiana going out to the West Coast, Nick,
Yeah.
the Rose Bowl in their first Big Ten match in California against UCLA. What do you think, Nikki?
I got to go with Indiana here.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good call.
Well, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go UCLA only because I think for Indiana, this is a whole new world of experience of going into this Rose Bowl thing, and UCLA is great at home. You know, they I think their last 4 home openers they've won and covered. So I think this is going to be
Good thinking.
of West Coast. You know, you take an East Coaster, Midwestern team, you bring them out to the shining lights of LA, and that's all.
I'm gonna go with Indiana, and if I had Nick picks the lock every week, but if I was picking it, I think Indiana throttles them. I don't think UCLA is very good. I don't care if they're at home or on the road. I don't think they're a very good team, and I'm gonna double bet that with the over. I think that game goes over. I think they think.
I definitely can agree with that one.
Yeah, I think you want to do an over bet too, Scotty, with your UCLA. Double bet it.
Sure, hit it.
All right, boom. All right.
I'm going to make that the pick of the week, Indiana.
All right.
That's your pick. I think that's
lock in.
That's your lock. Lock it up.
My lock.
Lock it up. All right, let me put it next to it. Lock of the week.
I think it'll be good. What time was that? What time is that game on? Is that super late?
Hang on a minute.
If they were smart, they would schedule it super late, but TV dictates all that, not teams.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I lost it. Sorry, I don't have it.
All right, I don't have it either.
Well, it's going to be probably West Coast minimum 7.
Oh, I'm sorry, 7:30.
Yeah, 7:00.
7:30 West Coast, though, right? Or is that
7:30 our time?
Okay.
7:30 Eastern.
Okay, so it's not terrible for Indiana. I would have made it 7:30 California time.
Yeah, like 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, 10:30 when they're not. That's an advantage. There's no doubt about that. That would help them.
Kids would normally be in bed.
Yeah, but TV dictates times. Like Maryland, after losing to Michigan State, they said we're going to play at 12 o'clock every day from 12 o'clock at home the rest of the year. I'm like, God, I hate those games, man.
Oh my God, they're the worst. You gotta be in the parking lot by 9 a.m.
9. I'm there at 8. Every time I'm 9. 9. I'm on my third vodka at 9, man. Fucking wasted when you walk in. It's terrible. It's like morning drinking. It's not even day drink. It's morning drinking. It's terrible.
100%.
Yeah, not great. But I'll do it because I'm a gamer. But I don't want to. I don't want to, but I will.
I know you're in there.
Yeah.
What's up next?
Nikki, what do you think, man? LSU minus 7.5 going into South Carolina, going to Columbia 50.5.
I'm going to go with LSU here. They got to play a good game one of these days.
Laying the number, okay?
Laying the number.
What do you say, Scotty?
Yeah, I'm the same. The only thing is I heard whispers about weather there, and I think a sloppy condition would favor South Carolina, but I will go. I'm definitely gonna stay at LSU because I know that they want this win.
All right, and I'm gonna go South Carolina, home underdog again.
Yep. Watch the weather.
And I like the under. I like the weather play too, Scotty. I like the under there. A mud fest.
Yep. If it turns out a mud fest, it's so much in South Carolina's favor.
Yeah, they'll just grind the ball and run it
Yeah.
down our throats. All right, last pick of the week, guys. Texas A&M favored by 4 going into Gainesville, 46.5. I have come on the record that Gainesville's got nothing. Apparently, they're starting their freshman quarterback now. Graham Mertz is done, which he should have been done before the season started. But he is now, I think they're going to go with the freshman. What do you guys think? Go ahead, Scotty.
A&M all the way.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to take them apart in there. I don't even think that. I think the number's incorrect. I think it should be 6.5.
Nikki?
Yeah, this game, like as Scotty says, this game has gone. The numbers have really moved. It's
What is
like I
it
think
currently?
Florida started off as the favorite, and now A&M's the favorite, big favorite. Yeah, you got to go with A&M. I mean, Florida just they got to show you something.
Yeah.
I'm going with A&M. I think Florida's done. I think their goose is cooked, even at home in Gainesville, where it's a huge advantage. Their fans, God bless them, they show up every game, whether they suck or not, 80,000 strong, and they're gonna be disappointed again this week.
Yeah. And you can't take a freshman quarterback like that on week 2. Try to get the schemes right, try to get the timings right, all those things that you got to that done. And this is a kid right out of high school. It's like, forget it.
Right,
It's not.
right. No, I agree with you, man. I think he's done. All right, so Scotty, you're welcome to stay on, or you can get off at this point. It's up to you. Hopefully, you'll stay on. But so
Yeah.
every week we do an RIP for someone, an athlete who's died recently. But being this is 9/11, we're going to do a 9/11 remembrance. Nick's a New Yorker, works in New York. I actually called him on 9/11 to make sure he was okay. I don't know if you remember that, Nick. I reached out
Oh,
to
I
him.
definitely remember it.
So really, obviously a messed up time in this country's history. I remember the day clearly. It was a crisp fall day, taking care of my kid. I went and got my kid out of school because I didn't know what the hell was happening. And the secretary's like, "You sure you want to get her?" I said, "Well, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die together. So
Yeah.
she's coming with me. Go get her." Pulled her out. She was in kindergarten at the time. Pulled her out. My oldest daughter pulled her out, and we came home and just watched the news. It was frightful what happened that day. So, you guys want to recollect your remembrance of that, Scotty? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was actually living in Georgetown at the time, and I mean, I could basically see the Pentagon from where I lived. I lived right next to where campus was. So I got on my bike and rode it over to where that hole was. And it was just an amazing sight. I mean, people were helping each other, but people were coming out of there like in suits, just black. It was just the most incredible, surreal sight that you could ever even imagine. Yeah. And yeah, to this day, it's like I can picture it was like yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
day you
sure.
don't
You don't.
remember.
Nobody forgets.
Yeah.
All right, Nikki, how was your day in New York that day? I know you
Well,
were in the
it's
city that day, right?
yeah, yeah. It just I guess like pretty not pretty similar to what you guys had. They said a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center, and I thought it was like when a plane hit the Empire State Building in the '40s, like a little plane. But I thought, like you said, it was such a nice day. I thought, boy, how could the guy hit a building on a day like today? There's not a cloud in the sky.
Right.
And then, of course, the second plane hit, and you kind of knew that there was a lot going on. And then, it was a tough day all the way around for all of us, not just New Yorkers, but the whole country.
Yeah. Did any? I know. Good friend of mine who's in the mortgage business, who I know, Manny Mesa. His brother died in the Pentagon, so I don't know if you guys know anyone who did die from it. I know my daughter Sophia. Her dad was a violent. Her friend's dad was helped out to clean the World Trade Center the weeks after, and he ended up getting that 9/11 cancer and ended up dying. So I know of two people that died from it. It's sad, man. You guys know anyone who passed away because
I
of
do.
you do
A friend of mine's husband passed away.
who worked in the building?
He was on the 78th floor of the South Tower. Yeah.
Oh, holy crap! How about you, Scott?
Yeah.
I knew someone that was their mother was on the plane that crashed into the Pentagon.
Oh, right, because it
Wow.
left from DC, right?
Yeah. And then they flipped it around and came back in. Yeah.
Yeah. So the school next to University Park, which is next to College Park, they
Yeah.
had a couple teachers from that school, elementary school, that were on that plane heading to California.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, that was messed up. Yeah, so it's a tough day, man. I thought today being 9/11, we should do that instead of picking on an individual, an event that happened on this day a long time ago, going on 23 years now.
Wow.
So,
Amazing.
all right, boys, I appreciate you being on, Scott. That was great, man. Unbelievable. Thank you for doing a little homework too beforehand, and
Hey, I couldn't come on here blind, man.
I
I got
know we've
Great
had
job.
people.
Very well done.
We've had blind people on here, and they did fine. But you were great, man. Thank you. We'll have you
yeah,
on again for sure, obviously.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I'll
Thanks, Scotty.
I'll see
Thanks.
you game.
Yeah, I'll see you. I'll be there on Villanova's 12 o'clock start. So,
Good. Thanks, guys.
all right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Nikki. Take care, man.
All right. See you guys.
Bye bye.
Huh?
That was good, right? Thought you did a good job. See you.